Okay, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about days 22 and 23. And just to give you some reference, this is British Columbia. So we are in the Yukon, and not just in the Yukon. We have actually traveled. 2 episodes ago, we talked about this Klondike Highway. Last episode, we featured Dawson City. Today's episode, we are talking about Top of the World Highway and our amazing campsite right along in here. Then we cross into Alaska, and we talk about the border crossing, talk about, folks, we're going to tell you a section of road that's terrible, absolutely awful, driving like 5 and 10 miles an hour. That's this one. It's beautiful, but it's slow. And we did make a quick stop in Chicken, and then this is the Taylor Highway on down here, and then into Tok. So, yes, we are in Alaska. Hi, and welcome to 2 Tired Teachers and an Angry Cat.
We are on the Top of the World Highway.
And we are at a roadside pull-off, and folks,
it doesn't get any better than this.
The views we have are pretty amazing, and this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime, for us, shot at, staying somewhere like this, so we're going to take advantage of it. And that brings up the 2 big events of the day. We began
with a ferry ride across the Yukon River.
We are in the van, hitched up, and we are on a ferry on the Yukon River, and we are getting ready to go across
to Top of the World Highway.
So this is going to be fun. Yeah, getting on here, they put a Class A on as well, and man, it was a tight squeeze, but they got him. And folks, the wait time really depends on the number of RVs.
Yes.
We got there, we waited about an hour and a half,
yeah,
I guess. And smaller RVs that were, and not necessarily small, like the ferry with us, we were on there, and there was a Class A next to us, and then a couple of cars in front, cars in back, motorcycle, pedestrians, but it's a small ferry.
Yes.
And so the one that went before us was a toy hauler, and that was the only RV they got on. And so it really just kind of depends how many RVs they can get across.
And if you are thinking about coming to Alaska and concerned about the wait time, the ferry runs 24 hours a day. So my guess is
7 days a week. Yeah, and yeah, you get there in the middle of the night or super early in the morning, or you're going to have,
I would think.
Yeah. Well, the people coming toward Dawson City, the ferry wasn't full until that very last load that they brought.
Yeah.
And then it was starting to wake up on the other side at around 10 o'clock or so.
Yeah. And they also let people just get on the ferry.
Yeah, and that was something else, is they know that they're going to let on 1 or 2 RVs, but the cars, motorcycles, pedestrians, they were pretty much all getting on anytime there was a line at all.
Yes.
And so, these people are really good at Tetris. But it was so much fun just watching it and then actually being on it.
Yes. And they are very good about letting you know you need over this way or you need over that way.
Yeah, and so that was just a fun, unique experience, and that is a free ferry because it is part of the highway. Will they eventually build a bridge there? Who knows? Probably. But for now, it is an awesome experience, and I'm so glad we were able to take advantage of it. Now, the Top of the World Highway, I believe we are about 10 miles from Chicken. We haven't crossed the Alaska border yet. We're still in Canada. But the road starts off about the first 4 miles are paved.
Yes.
And fine. And then you get to a gravel road. And folks, it's a good gravel road.
Yes.
And there are 2 rest areas that have trash cans and vault toilets, one kind of on each end. And then there are pullouts all along the way. I have driven, I think, as fast as 35 to 40 miles an hour. I'm looking out, I'm watching the views. So,
Yes.
that's really a big deal of mine. But there were places where I was going 10, sometimes down to 5 miles an hour because the road got rough.
Yes.
Those are not very long sections, but you do want to be mindful of those. But the view you see coming across here is absolutely breathtaking. And like we said, we decided there's nowhere we can go to get a better view than this,
No.
and we're here. So we stopped in our fairly early afternoon,
Yes.
about 3 o'clock. And, we're just taking advantage of looking out at this amazing, it's hard to get a perspective. I should zoom in on an RV over here by this snow patch because it looks like a small snow patch until you see that these giant RVs are like ants in front of
Yes.
it. And that kind of shows you the view we have. It is, it's not crystal clear because of the fires in the area, but it is, it's amazing. And tomorrow we're heading to Chicken and Toke, and we'll catch you up there. We are back in the U.S.
The Alaska time zone.
We haven't seen the Welcome to Alaska sign yet, but we just came through the border crossing, and because we're from America, Texas tags, etc. Her only question was, are you bringing in anything that you got from Canada other than souvenirs? And she went through a list of things. Some of them I've never heard of. Bear bangers and bear sticks, wood, whatever. Oh, there's an Alaska sign. We'll get you a picture. Okay, we just had to stop and, well, the German couple that was in front of us, they took our pictures for us with the sign. I'm very thankful for that. But yeah, it is.
We are in Alaska.
We are in Alaska. And that is one of the things, we're just going to be showing some footage here of Top of the World Highway while we're talking about this, and this section is paved just
Yes.
past it's so strange.
As soon as we came out of
The border crossing.
crossing,
But
it was paved.
one of the things that has made this journey, this is so amazing for us, is that we were enjoying the journey.
Yes.
We left home on June 10th. This is July 3rd that we are getting to Alaska. And
We spent 2 weeks in Canada.
yeah, we spent a little over 2 weeks coming through Canada, and just absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And so we have, part of our preparation for coming was watching tons of videos of other people that had been, getting ideas, etc. And we saw several of them where, sorry, we're on a steep grade. That's what the rev of the engine is as we are letting it slow us down a little bit. But we had seen several people where it was, we've got to get to Alaska.
Yes.
That was not our mindset at all. Our mindset was, we've got to enjoy Canada.
If it had taken us several more days or even a week to get to Alaska, we would have been fine.
And just in kind of all transparency here, we spent last night at one of the most amazing free campsites. And the reason we spent the night there was because of Less Junk, More Journey, if you've watched them. And their,
First time
when
in
they came to Alaska with their Airstream, they were at a free overlook and fixing dinner and trying to decide, should we go through the border crossing or not? And they did. And then they ended up staying in a parking lot with no view. And so that was the reason we got there at
Yes.
about, what, 3:30 or so
Yeah,
yesterday
yeah.
afternoon?
Earlier, maybe.
And we just had the most relaxing evening, and then we slept. that
I
beautiful.
wouldn't want everyone to know, but we went to bed around 6:30.
We were
tired.
exhausted. We slept like 12 hours.
Or longer.
The night before, while we were at a gorgeous free campsite on the river, we were eaten alive with mosquitoes, and I think they're no-see-ums. I don't know what all they are.
But just outside Dawson City.
Yeah, and we itched like crazy, and so now we're at a 9% grade. And so being able to just sleep was awesome.
Yes.
And so that was kind of what led us to that stop. But we didn't hurry across the border. We took our time this morning, and we loved it. And can't say enough positive about this western half of Canada. Absolutely amazing, and I am thankful for every stop we made, and
Yes.
what an amazing time. The border to Chicken is no joke. And folks, I mean, there were miles where I was driving 5 or 10 miles an hour, and people were passing us, and that's fine. But we got here and the bathroom door was loose. I'm getting ready to put a screw back in the top hinge. All of the screws on the hinges were loose. We usually drive with the door kind of bungeed open just because it's easier. Sometimes it's kind of hard to open. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to be closing it so that those hinges don't have that pressure on it. The handle to the RV, because of the wind we've been in, tightening it down. The little extension shelf, tightening it down. So while we're here at the lovely metropolis of Chicken, we are just taking a couple of minutes and going around and tightening anything that's jarred loose. And folks, we will tell you, we have seen parts of cars and RVs kind of at the side of the road where these people have been, going as fast as you want. There were a few little sections where I did get up to 30 miles an hour between the border and Chicken. One more thing. You always want to drive with your water pump off. This is a time we had turned the water pump off, and as soon as we got here and Mylena turned the water pump on, kitchen sink started running. Well, that's because of the roads we've been on. Stuff was just kind of bouncing around. I mean, we were taking it as slow as we could, but this is one of those situations where when we got here, our fresh water tank would have been empty and our gray water tank would have been very full. And so, just as a rule of thumb, be sure and turn it off. But at the little souvenir shop there in Chicken, where they have all of these trinkets and stuff downstairs, they said more stuff upstairs, kids' clothes, auto parts. So yeah, that was by far the roughest road that we've been on, and I'm sure it was the roughest part we will have been on. I had heard that, but until you're actually going 5 and 10 miles an hour,
you may not believe it.
Yeah. And then I'd ask the guy and I talked to you about some minor repairs we made, but the Taylor Highway from Chicken down to Toke, parts of it were very good. I mean, 35, 40 miles an hour. And then you would get to some parts that you had to now, frost heaves were a lot of frost heaves. I mean, the road looked like a roller coaster.
Yes.
But you could see that and just kind of take it easy, and that I preferred much more than just the teeth-jarring top of the world highway there between Chicken and the border and Chicken. Would I do it again?
Yeah.
Folks, for the views between the border and Dawson City, yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't trade where we spent the night last night.
Top of the highway.
Yeah, top of the world highway, yeah. So, the views, I mean, as you can see, and once again, this is just one of those things that video is not going to show you how awesome and amazing and beautiful all of this is. And yeah, there's some smoke in the area from wildfires, so you just take what the road as you get to it. Well, I just passed the sign for 1325 mile of the Alaska Highway. We had driven a total of 4,300 miles when we crossed over into Alaska, and it is beautiful, and we are going to have a few down days. We'll mention that in Tok at the Turso gas station, it's just as you're heading out of town on the right. Tesoro, that's it. The gas station, the price was as cheap, if not a little bit cheaper than anywhere else. They have gasoline, diesel, propane. We filled up a propane tank there. Then they also have, if you fill up with gas, you get free dump, free car wash, and free fresh water. And we took advantage of all of that.
Yes, the car wash is not when you drive through. It's
no, and the van and the RV are not completely clean.
spotless, but
I mean, you put some Dawn dishwashing. They have a bucket there, brushes, and a hose that you turn on and off that has like a nozzle on it, and it just turning water on it.
yes.
Dirt just rolled off. And so we've been on gravel roads for days, and so they're better than they were.
Yes.
And so anyway, folks, we hope you have enjoyed our look at the Top of the World Highway and the Taylor Highway. We did not spend a lot of time in Chicken. I did buy a little bit of fudge.
And I did buy a souvenir.
And so we are going to have a few down days and just kind of take it easy. We are heading out of Tok tonight and see exactly where we end up. We're not sure. Tomorrow is the 4th of July. One other sight we saw in Tok, and that was Santa's rocket ship.
Yes.
You do not see that everywhere. We did see it there. And so, anyway, we will catch you up on the next episode of Alaska on a Budget. Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.